BPHY053, section 1.7, page 84, question 29, solving nonlinear inequalities. If we have a nonlinear inequality x plus 2 times x minus 3 less than 0, the roots of this, well, if it were equal to 0, but we're still going to use the information, would be x equals minus 2, x equals plus 3. What I'm going to do in order to analyze this problem, I'm going to draw a number line. And on this number line, I'm going to locate these values of x. So there's x is minus 2. Here's x equal to plus 3. So I'm going to test three regions. To the left of minus 2 is negative infinity. To the right of plus 3, there's positive infinity. And the regions I'm going to test are between negative infinity and minus 2. I'm going to test between minus 2 and plus 3. And I'm going to test between plus 3 and plus infinity. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to make up a chart. And on this chart, I'm going to have some values. I'm going to have minus 2 and plus 3. Now, in my inequality, I have some expressions like x plus 2, x minus 3, and then x plus 2 times x minus 3. And I'm going to test each of these expressions to see what their sign would be for values of x in each of these three different regions. So to begin with, I'm going to have, I have to choose some values. So I'm just going to put the values I'm going to choose on the number line. So I'm going to choose a value of -4, a value of 0, and a value of plus 4 for my testing. When x is -4, -4 plus 2, I'm going to use the expression x plus 2. -4 plus 2 is going to return a negative value because that -4 plus 2 is -2, so that means that's going to be negative. The expression x plus 2, what will its value be when x equals 0? If x is 0, 0 plus 2 is plus 2, so that'll be positive. What about when x is plus 4? Plus 4 plus 2 is plus 6, so x plus 2 will be positive in the final region off to the right here between plus 3 and plus infinity. What about the expression x minus 3? For the expression x minus 3, when x is minus 4 plus -3 is -7, so the expression will be negative. What about when x equals 0? 0 plus -3 is negative. The expression will be negative there. And when x is plus 4, 4 plus -3 is plus 1, so it'll be positive. So now what this means is I'm going to interpret my chart this way. The expression x plus 2, any value between negative infinity and -2, any value of x between negative infinity and -2 will be negative for the expression x plus 2. Doesn't matter what I choose. Any value of x between negative infinity and -2 will also be negative for the expression x negative 3. So that means if I take the expression x plus 2 and multiply by the expression x minus 3, I'm going to have a negative times a negative, which is a positive. So I'll get a positive value through the multiplication. In the region between -2 and plus 3, I'm going to have a positive multiplied by a negative, so the result will be negative. Finally, for the region between plus 3 and plus infinity, I have a positive times a positive. The result will be a positive. I can interpret my nonlinear inequality now in this fashion. What regions will the nonlinear inequality be true for? In other words, what regions will the product of x plus 2 times x minus 3 be less than 0? And the only region that will occur in is the region between -2 and positive 3. So I'm going to write my solution to this as all values of x such that minus 2 is less than x, which is less than 3. So in other words, over the interval between -2 and +3, x will be, the expression, nonlinear inequality, I should say, x plus 2 times x minus 3 will be negative. Notice that my inequality signs have no equality part to them, and that's because the nonlinear inequality does not have an equality part to it. To graph this nonlinear inequality, to graph this solution, draw a number line, and on my number line, I'm going to have -2, and I'm going to have +3, and all the values of x between them, up to, but not including, the endpoints. In interval notation, this would be written -2, 3 with round brackets.